What's up, y'all? So I gave you guys a good morning because I'm just waking up at 10 o'clock at night. Um, but somehow that wasn't recording. I don't know what that was about. We're going to start this over and we're going to start it in here. So I've talked about this tank before, being the age it is. And probably not going to last forever. This thing's probably 20, maybe 30 years old at this point. I've had it for almost 20 years. But silicone's going to fail soon. You can see certain things like in here. Silicone's changing colors. And that's the first sign it's bad. You can see at the bottom, it's still light colored silicone. Yeah. So, the moss tank. That's what this is. That y'all can't really see. Because it's dark, it's nighttime, and lights are on auto timers, and I did not turn them on. Unfortunately, there was a newt here a minute ago. That thing must have scurried when I turned my light on. Anyway, so what I wanted to really talk to you about is where I'm going to take this process, whatever we want to call it. Oh, there's Chomp. He likes talking. So Chomp likes people talking. He didn't like light, but here's Chomp. His sphagnum moss is mud. He doesn't like the plants or the light, so I don't really leave it on. Plants obviously got moved. I put the rattlesnake calathea down there, and then sometime this year during the summer it died off. Don't know what happened there. It just stopped growing and died. Everything else doing what it's doing. So yeah, what's the future on these guys? Well, let's go look at that. In the scheme of things, I'm a little bit further ahead on this project than where you guys are. So what does that mean? It means I'm getting to watch these babies be born and also somewhat die. Like that right there is a dead one. Yeah, I'm not seeing that one. Oh, he looked good. So there is one in here that is eating for sure. Its belly contents have changed. They're not so bright yellow anymore, but I'm also not seeing some of the others last as long. Because like at one point I counted 13 in here, and really I'm only seeing the belly contents of one change. So I need to adjust something. I've been using the bloodworms, tossing them in here. I'm not really sure if they're getting eaten. As you can see here, we got some food that is molded over. That was actually little algae pellets. They just don't get eaten as quick. Oh, I thought that one was dead. Huh. Oh my gosh, I thought that one was dead. So he's probably not gonna make it. You see his tail? That's definitely this side of the tail. That's the head on this side. That side of the tail's got some white, so I don't think that one's gonna make it. Although that might just be the light colored one, because there's been one that's very light colored. You can see the little bugs. All these little things are still in here. There's a few Daphnia. I went from probably, I don't know, 25 Daphnia in here to just a couple. I did just cut the light on, so it's been off all day. So this is where you guys have been watching me raise the young. Let's move forward. All right, so this is the future I want for them. I got my bluefin killifish in here. The only issues is the cracking over there. So that, I believe, is from the sun reflecting. Getting too hot, separating. Can't see it as clear over here, but I believe it's from the sun coming down and reflecting back up. Usually keep it blocked. I have something now that I put blocking it from the sun. And you see what I did there. And I did that long ago. So, the future, I think, is grim for the tank, but at the same time, the tank is going to be needed for my Peninsula Newts. So I would like to look into sanding this. I did sand the top. You can see it's a little foggy, but when it gets wet, it gets clear again. So the idea now is to figure out how to sand it crystal clear. That's not as important, especially if I think the tank is about to split. I got a spot right here I noticed when I tried to record this for y'all the first time. Unfortunately, when I finished that video up, I realized I wasn't even recording. Weird, huh? One of the few times I don't look through the camera while recording, like right now. So the future, I think, is getting the Peninsula Newts in here. They do coexist in the same environment with the bluefin killifish. I mean, because all of mine came together, same private property. You see two of them right there. That's two females. So anyway, I went through my bucket in the back because the 50-gallon drum that I use in the back is where I've been breeding these for quite a few years. I wouldn't say it's been 10 years, but it's been a while. That's the male over in that corner. It swam through. There's 3 right down here. Oh, that's the male right there. Oh, there's quite a few over there right now. There's like 5 of them over there. So I got 1, 2 here. I think there's about 5 over here. 4. So I cleaned the tank today. Cleaned up a lot of the moss that's in there. Just wanted it to look better. And then I ran the pump for a couple hours. I am not running the pump right now. I am running only the aerator. Why am I doing that? Bluefin killifish are small enough to swim through up here. And we don't want that to happen. We don't need any of them in the back or falling down in the sump. If they get in the sump, they'll die. They don't have contact with water there. But the idea will be to try to raise out the babies in here. I want to get Daphnia established in here as well. I have a few of those. Alright, so I have a few of those. So I saved some. I put a few Daphnia in multiple areas. You can see in here, there's quite a few. They are reproducing. I pulled from this today. But, I mean, I only pulled maybe 10. Because I do want them to reproduce. Yeah. That's basically all they do. They just swim around in green water. The issue right now is getting green water in winter. I just don't have a lot. I did start another bucket, put an aerator on it and left it. Hopefully that'll keep mosquitoes out. I'll probably end up putting some bluefin killifish in that because they're good mosquito control. They handle the high temps of direct sun, even on stagnant water, but they've shown that they can also handle our winter temps when we have our freezing nights here in North Florida. So bluefin killifish, I think, are the future for my Peninsula Newts. Where I've been using lesser killifish right now for tank cleanup and extra little bit of food. We're about to find out. My female inside's about to have babies. Actually, female in here is looking pretty fat too. I noticed that earlier. Anyway, pretty cool. It looks as nice as it came out after cleaning. So water loss, I mean, it's about 12 hours. Water loss was minimal. That's just it settling to the tubes in the back. I also started a project here, trying to get some plants on this, but evidently my water level dropped enough that my rubber isn't gonna catch it. Oh, the rubber's not gonna catch it, so now it's free floating again. wanted. I did not want it free floating. But I'll figure it out. This is new. I just decided to add some of the moss here. I think it'll grow. It's wet enough in some places. Anyway. So that's kind of the future on these. So what was the plan? Well, originally we were having a hell of a time finding Peninsula Newts. And so I was planning to bring them back to our property. And that still is the goal. Get some adults, get them healthy, and then release them. I mean, obviously, at some point, you gotta sell critters to fund critters. That's not how I've lived most of my life. I've just done this on my own. But I think for any type of future, it has to fund itself to keep it going, as well as feed us. We got to eat too, and some of that finance has to come in to do that. Really, until there is no future, if I cannot get the larva stage to go to a juvenile stage, they will not have an effed out of the water stage. They will stay in the water. I believe the word is not neotenic in this sense, because they do not necessarily retain, I mean, some of it is larval traits, but they really do change their whole body. They go from their larva to their adult. So yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to do more research into that. There was another word, starts with a P, I can't remember right now, but retention for some words is not easy for me, especially when I don't use them every single day. But anyway, I gave y'all enough. Yeah, I got work. I woke up an hour and a half before work, and then I decided to try to give you this after taking the dogs out. Let's see. Anyway, I'm gonna go. You guys, I hope you have had a great weekend, because it's over. Yep, and I'll see y'all later.